everybody, it is Eric Lucas, your favorite real estate investor, and this will be my first webcam video, so hopefully I do a good job. But over the past year or two, I've gotten a lot of flack from other investors and real estate agents when I said that the real estate market would adjust and would adjust hard. And it looks like that prediction is finally coming true. But I am still getting flack from the same agents, the same investors when I say that rents are going to drop. But let me tell you, the same people back in 2005 that said that real estate only goes up, they're the same people right now here in 2022 saying that rents never drop. And that is not the case. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to see a significant pullback in rents, and I will show you why here with a few news articles and a few figures. So first and foremost, we're looking at the Wall Street Journal. This is an article that I saw that came out where it said right here, rents dropped for the first time in 2 years after climbing to records. And I've actually seen a few articles like this right now just talking about the decline in rents. And really, it's not so hard to see why this happened and why rents shot to these unrealistic levels, right? Because back in 2020, as we all know now, due to COVID, there was a lot of funny money being printed, a lot of money being handed out, and a lot of middle-class individuals were actually able to get a significant raise in income if they took advantage of all the free COVID money, or even some of the free COVID money. And what is the first thing that you do when you get new income? Well, you probably go get yourself a place, whether you buy a place or rent a place. Getting a home of your own or a larger home is going to be at the top of the list, especially during COVID, where you were really kind of conscious about who you were around, right? Having roommates is difficult enough in normal times. Having roommates during COVID was even more stressful because everybody kind of took different precautions for COVID. There were some people that it was no big deal. There were some people that it was the end of the world. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people with roommates that really, really, really struggled during COVID. COVID was kind of that issue that maybe pushed good roommates to the breaking point. And again, when you've got extra money and you're worried about health and you want your own privacy and you want to protect your family or you want to protect yourself, whatever, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and find a new place to buy or rent. So therefore, you've got more demand and less supply. So just like artificially low interest rates pushed values up, the fact that there were more renters with disposable income pushed rents up. Well, now that is going to change, I think, here as the COVID money dries up. And also, too, as renters are getting squeezed in other aspects of the economy. We've got gas prices now that have climbed really double, more than double in some cases, what they were during COVID. You've got food prices that are higher. So when you've got a lot of individuals now that maybe had a reduction in income after, when the COVID money expired, right? And now you've also got higher gas prices, higher food prices. Well, there's only so much you can spend on rent. And I think we're going to start to see more articles like this. Additionally, people have been saying, oh, rent prices only go up, they only go up. Looking at this chart right here, you're basically right when you say that, right? I mean, rents have gone up consistently basically every year. However, if you look at this time period right here, there was this brief period where rents actually went down. And you're going to say, no big deal. It was, very small change, minus 1.96%. And that was, of course, right after the bubble burst, in 2005. 2010, we were already in trouble, and rents were actually higher than they were in 05. Again, higher still in 2011. But let me tell you, being in Phoenix in this market, this isn't totally accurate, right? This is rents on average in the United States. After that bubble burst in 2008, rents did take a hit. I was actually a landlord in Arizona, still am a landlord in Arizona, but I had a rental property in this time period. And when the tenant in there renewed their rent, it was always a little bit stressful for me because rents were actually going down in the area. and I just kept the rent the same and was lucky enough to keep them. So yes, in the past, rents have mostly gone up, but after bubbles burst, they can take some hits, especially in certain areas, especially in an overheated area like Phoenix. And look where we're at again. If you look at other YouTube channels, people are talking about how Phoenix is an overheated market. So the big thing this time is if you look, unfortunately, this chart only goes to 2020. Well, we all know that rents are up probably, depending on where you live, significantly higher than they were in 2020 here and currently in 2022. Expect those levels to go down. Well, now you've got a problem though, because when rents go down, that's really going to put the squeeze on investors. How many people, whether it was institutions or professional investors, bought properties at super low cap rates? I'm talking 4% or less cap rate, so a 4% cash on cash return, pretty crappy return. And they bought at those low rates saying that, well, I can always raise rents in the future. What if you bought at a 4% return and you bought on inflated rent numbers, and now that return is going to be even lower? Where this really gets scary, and not a lot of people are talking about this yet, is commercial real estate, because unlike residential real estate, commercial loans are adjustable rate mortgages. They have about 5 or 10 years on a balloon payment. So everybody, and even before COVID, investors in the commercial atmosphere were buying in the 5% or less cap rate. So if you are a commercial investor and you got yourself a low interest rate loan, and you bought back in 2018, well, 2023, your loan is going to adjust. That balloon payment is going to be due, and you have to refinance. And there's a few things that are going to happen to these commercial investors, and it's really the perfect storm. So if you bought at a 5% cap rate and rents are actually going to be lower than where you bought at, now you're looking at maybe a 4% cap rate, less, especially if some people in your building aren't paying. A 4% return looks okay when inflation is 0 or 1% or 2%. A 4% return is awful when inflation's 8% or higher. Additionally, maybe you can get away with a 4% cap rate again when mortgages are 3%. Well, now mortgages are what, 6, 7%, a little bit higher on a commercial property. This is going to create a massive, massive problem in the commercial world. And it could get really, really ugly. And just like the residential market and bad loans and adjustable rate loans brought down the real estate market in 2007, 2008, 2009, I think in the commercial world is where we could actually see the amount of pain needed to bring down the real estate market this time. Because again, one of the arguments is, well, who's going to give up their low 2%, rate, right? When when they have a mortgage that's less than what the rent is, right? In 2008, people walked away from $3,000 mortgages because they can rent the same house for $2,000. What if that happens again? What if everybody that locked in these silly high payments at low rates, right? Well, what if now you can go rent a similar property for $1,000 a month less and you're being squeezed? Again, it could happen again. Final point I'm going to make in this video. Rates here are sitting at about 7%, right? Let me see if I can bring this screen over. Actually, matter of fact, we'll just go here. A $400,000 loan at a 3% interest rate is about $1,650 a month, right? A $400,000 loan, let's plug in a 7% interest rate, $1,000 more a month, basically, $2,661. Not only is this payment a huge increase, but you're not even taking into consideration the higher food prices, gas prices, the less velocity of money because there's no free COVID money anymore, right? So to get back to that payment, right, that more affordable payment of $1,686, how much do you have to borrow now at 7%? This is the answer, right? So in all those overheated markets like Vegas and Florida and Phoenix and Texas, where this is probably a comfortable payment for your average family or worker there on a nice, mid-level house. If it was $400,000 only 2 years ago, do we have to get back to this $250,000 figure for it to be affordable again? We probably do. So there's pain ahead. Real estate values are going to decline, and I think we're going to see rents decline significantly as well. And the rents are what's really going to surprise people, because historically it hasn't really happened. We had a slight dip in rents again after the bubble, between 2005 to 2012, especially in the overheated markets. We're going to see a decline in rent for sure here soon across the board, and again, especially in the overheated markets. And that's just going to contribute to people, walking away from their homes when they paid way too much money. So, again, Eric Lucas, your favorite investor, and I'm going to make some more videos like this, but it's going to be an interesting time in the next few years, and I'm going to try to cover it on this channel and let you know a little bit more about what I'm doing, what my team is doing, and the opportunities that I see. Because as someone who lived through the '05 boom and the '08 bust, and that's when I began my career, I'm seeing the same stuff again, just in a slightly different wrapping. So anyway, hope this video was informative. Subscribe, like the video, and help me make some more videos like this so we can all prosper in the difficult times ahead. Take care.